Okay, this is DragonofEternity and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker MSQ, or Main Story Quest, or Main Scenario Quest. However you want to say it. So, in the last video I helped the Labrynthos gain a better understanding on Ephesus and its people, and I witnessed a touching scene between Urianger and Moonweeder's parents. Is it Moonweeder or Moonweeder? Moen Breeder. Oh, Moonbreeder. Yeah, that sounds better. I forgot a letter in the name. What can I say? So, in this video, we've got Hiver and Yawns from Urianger. The pall of anxiety over Charlene Hamlet has thinned to more manageable levels. Ahem. Thou hast my gratitude for lending courage to the Labrynthos. Not disposed to rest on their laurels, several of our guests have elected to accompany my countrymen to their stations. Some few may still come hither seeking counsel, and so shall I remain to aid them as need be. If thou art needed elsewhere, do not let me detain thee. As a matter of fact, I was hoping you might check in on Alce. Last I saw, she was struggling to carry an enormous pile of boxes out the west gate. I could go myself, but we know better. We both know whose help she's less likely to scorn. Not to mention that, much to my misfortune, I can think of several other things I ought to be doing. Until later. Until later. Okay. And there are two side quests. So that means it's just those two and the final MSQ quest in the zone. And I can fly here. Finally. I don't have to take bloody elevators between fates. It would be amazing. Let's see. Hiver and Yarns. Hiver and Yarns. Search for Alce. Let's see. Whee! Hello, Alce. Squeal, squeal! Uh-oh. Marshna, what are you doing out here? I've come to help you. Oh, I don't mind if you help with the boxes. But it's from the most exciting of tasks, are you sure? Sure. Well, I appreciate the assistance. We need to get these to Arporia. Time is short, of course, but they're full of organic specimens and samples. So try not to be too rough with them. Alphino should be waiting for us when we arrive. I'll see you there. Deliver the crates to Alphino. 3 minutes. Okie dokie. Alright, let's do this. I say we're just skipping this entire section then. Okay. Tell you what, I'll take the quicker path. Or at least the path with less enemies. Come, great serpent of Ranker. Of Ronker. With a hat on its head. To wherever I need to be. Okay, so avoiding that thing. Last time I saw this thing, I was in Eureka. Center Anila. So that's gonna bring me over to Arporia. Cuckold's Forge is where I started. So we're getting through the areas. It's just the middle bit. Alright, hello Alphino. How you doing, buddy? Oh, you're helping with the crates. Wonderful. You can put that there with the others. You have my gratitude, but how did you come to be involved with this? You see, it all started with the Labrynthos, and then Moonbreeder's parents turned up. Ha! Then I suppose I have Fankrit to thank as well. If you're wondering why we were tasked with bringing boxes to Arporia to begin with, so was I. It turns out this is a base of operations of sorts. Those with final say as to what is included in the ship's manifest can be found here. Uh-oh. Father included, I suspect. That should be everything. You carried all of that at once? Are you trying to injure yourself? Oh, hush, they're lighter than they look, and not everyone has your delicate arms. I suppose we should let someone know that we've finished. Fearpolden is in the courtyard. We can report to him. Ah, there he is. Why don't you come along? Should get credit for your assistance at least. Considering where we are, we might even learn something interesting. Okie dokie. I think this might be my final recording for the night. Yeah, I've been going for nearly 12 hours, including breaks. Or not including breaks. Yeah, give or take a bit. Yeah, if I can at least get to the last zone tomorrow, then I can definitely complete it by Monday. Or Tuesday. Which will be the 13th, the 14th of December. Just as a little timestamp. This must be Fearpolden. I want to call you Labrynthos. Damn you, Charlie. I keep thinking I've seen him elsewhere, but I cannot for the life of me remember when. Hi. God, it never ends, does it? What can I do for you? We brought samples from Charlene Hamlet, Series 110. The crates are by the entrance. Ah, thank you. I had expected one of my colleagues, but we are dreadfully short-handed. Just a moment. You're Fortunate's children, are you not? Alpha No and Alice at your service. You're well acquainted with Father, I take it. Quite. I've been friends with your parents since our days at the studium. I remember when you were yay high, waddling hither and thither. Clearly it's been quite some time since we've met. Tis good to see you again, wielding your father's new lifts, no less. You knew your parents when they were young? What were they like, pray tell? Or pray spare no detail. I should like nothing more than to regale you, alas, I am meant to be in charge here, and reams of paperwork want for submission. We can help with that in exchange for the sort of stories our parents would never willingly divulge, of course. Very well then. There happen to be 3 sets of documents in need of delivery, so how about you each take one? Wait right there. You'll find a forum representative waiting to collect these near the southernmost structure. I hope I haven't kept her waiting too long. Never mind Alpha No and Alice. I'm certain they will be back soon. Okie dokie. Near the southernmost structure. The southernmost structure. Ah, there we go. Wait, are you a member of the forum? You've got that hat. Are you not one of the Signs of the Seventh Dawn? I thought you were meant to be working on the ether burner. Signed documentation. The nature of this paperwork is not a particularly well-guarded secret, but due to how dull it is to read, will nevertheless remain largely unknown. Here, delivery. Fearpolden's Labrynthos. Fearpolden's paperwork. I was beginning to worry he had misplaced his quill. I appreciate your help in seeing these documents to my hands, at least. As for your other task, look, it's being worked on. Pray keep this between us, but I sincerely hope you Scions succeed. The Exodus is, without a doubt, the most monumental undertaking in the history of the Forum, and we must be circumspect in all respects. Risk is a privilege we cannot afford ourselves. At its heart, however, Charlene has ever been a nation of the curious, It would be a tragedy indeed if we were the ones to stem your pursuit of truth. Alright. Were you one of the ones that voted in helping me, or in favour of helping me? I hope you were. Right, feet up all done. Feet up all in. Quick and efficient, I dare say you have a talent for this work. The twins' papers only needed to be delivered to elsewhere in the vicinity, or facility, so they should be returning any moment. We return, with not a scrap of paperwork remaining on our persons, you will note. You both have my thanks, and my apologies for sending you on an errand far below your ambitions. Why, even as a babe, you struggled out of your swaddling clothes, and... There's quite enough of that, thank you. It was compromising stories of our parents we'd asked to hear, to reiterate. Of course, I've known your father for so long, I must have something... Well, as you know, part of why the Lavier name garners such respect in Charlene is your family's storied history. You two can trace your ancestry directly to those who came aboard Nune Krep's Hope, a lineage few can claim. I've never thought much of it myself. It's not as though our forebears founded our nation, they were simply there when it happened. Nevertheless, it has traditionally been a point of pride. This is why Newcraft's pronouncement, renounce the ways of war, and pursue enlightenment through knowledge and reason, has ever been our family's creed. Until your grandfather's time, Archon Louisois looked not to Newcraft's words but his deeds. He asserted, in defiance of his peers, that choosing to save the great and the small from the rising tides was the true mark of our founder's virtue. Perhaps it was his expertise, his knowledge of ancient prophecy, and the fall of civilizations that led him to conclude that to eschew conflict at every turn was to consign mankind to his doom. There will ever be conflict and calamity will follow, thus, to ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, it is indolence. You remember his words well. Indeed, Archon Louisois lived by that personal creed, and used every means at his disposal to bring succour to those in need, Charlene or no. No one loved and admired your grandfather more than his son. Yet Fortunault could not reconcile Louisois' deeds with the philosophy of their forebearers and his peers, a philosophy in which he believed so fervently, yet made a pariah of his father. Fortunault agonized over this contradiction for much of his life. God's father? And I kicked that man in the dick. A son may carry his father's blood, but his choices are his own to bear. Is it not always thus? Gods know Fortunault's a cranky old goat, so I'm sure you butt heads often enough, but even so, you must know that you're constantly in his thoughts, every moment of every day, and that is not an exaggeration in the slightest. You should have seen him when you were born. Barely recognizable he was, with a kind of dumbfounded grin I'd not seen since he first took a fancy to your mother. He was practically skipping when he told me the news. Take my word for it, he loves you to an embarrassing degree. Aww. But he is also frustratingly single-minded. Once he's decided that a given action's for the best, he will stay the course no matter who or what opposes him. A profoundly annoying habit. When you're on the other end of it, I am sure you will agree. Ah. I'll say. Thank you for your insight. When we next meet our parents, I shall mention that we spoke. What did you tell my children? Try not to get me into too much trouble now. I need the forum on my side. Speaking of which, I ought to be getting back to work. I have to make sure those specimens you brought make it to their proper places, or the cranky old gilt will have my hide. We can speak again later. Whoa. Hail, you free! Graha! Graha, surely Kokol hasn't driven you out of the forge already. For better or for worse, no. However, he has set me a task that requires more than my single pair of hands, and here you are. I could use at least one of you, but I won't object to more. Unfortunately, Alice and I have prior commitments, and we have been delayed too long as it is. What about you? Can you spare the time? For Graha, always. Best boy. Perfect. This shouldn't take long. Okie dokie. Where are we going, best boy? And as soon as you load in. Right, party check. Much as I'd like to press Theopolden for more revealing tidbits, like how he met your mother, we should be getting back to our tasks. By he, I meant Fortunald. 'Tis strange to hear a father spoken of in such a way, but I suppose he would find your view of me no less odd. Once forged, an unspecific task awaits you. Story of my life. In the eventlet hour, and I quote, promised heap of adamantite falls right out of the bloody sky into my lap. Master Kokol wishes to be ready to put the proverbial hammer to anvil until at a moment's notice. To fabricate these parts, however, he needs the flames in Kokol's forge to burn hotter. He sent me to increase the amount of ether being funneled to his furnaces. The flow of fire-aspected ether in Labrynthos is regulated by an elemental reactor south of here, to which I have borrowed the key. The adjustment will require 2 people to carry out safely, but I can explain the process when we arrive. This is where we part then. We'll see you in Charlene Hamlet once the Adamantite arrives, if not before. Why do I feel that the Dungeon of Trial is the next quest? This way then. Well, if it is, it is. Yeah, definitely not in the mindset to do another dungeon right now. So if that does happen, I'm saving that for tomorrow. I mean, talking in these quests is fine and all, but focusing on a dungeon or a trial, after 12 hours of bloody recording, I'd rather not do that. Have I only done one dungeon this day? Yes. I've only done one dungeon. Huh. The reactor is housed within this facility. I'll be the one to go inside and adjust the fire ether output. When I do, a rather large amount of water aspected ether will issue from the vents at the top. I expect this to attract at least a few elementals, which we would rather not be drawn into the reactor itself, trust me. Alright, explosions. Can I ask that you put down any that draw too near? They'll pose you little trouble, I'm sure. Okie dokie. Wait here if you would. Okay. I'm worried like there's a cutscene here. An Appa is lured by the siren song of water-aspected ether, which I will soon defeat. Pebble. More. Further creatures have been attracted. Are we done now? Shit. Oh, I could have had a second Nastrond off. Or a third, technically. What are you gonna do? There we go. Alright, cutscene time. Did everything go smoothly out here? 5 enemies. I thought as much. No major implications, complications even, to speak of inside either. And the water ether appears to be venting properly. I expect Kokol will have seen a difference in his forge flames by the time I return. Since I have you, there was another matter I thought to discuss with you. Nothing terribly important, merely something I've been considering. Part of this I shared with everyone, yet you, and only you, have been to Elpis. Yeah. As we have established, refined adamantite is a product of Alag, of the Empire's twilight years, in fact. It was a material which saw much use as part of the Allagan's efforts to extend beyond the bounds of this world, Dalamud, of course, being the most prominent. Of those who would push further, expand Allag's empire to encompass the heavens and the stars above, perhaps the greatest was its infamous technologist, Amon. Right. Did he remember his life as Hermes? Amon wanted to travel the Sea of Stars? Ooh, both of those are good. I believe he had his own reasons. There was no evidence to support that he had retained memories of his former life. He only joined the Asians once the Empire was all but dust, as you know. If not his memory, though, what drove him to pursue the idea with such fervour? This may seem far-fetched, but what if souls, like minds, have a personality, so to speak, a natural disposition towards which they are inclined? We know with relative certainty that it was the gross decadence and inexorable decline of Allag that moved Amon to resurrect Emperor Zonde. The Empire's people spoke lightly of death and destruction, experimenting on those they deemed beneath them to fulfill the emptiness in their hearts. In facilitating Zonde's return, Amon provided these languid souls with the means to free themselves from the mire of their own indolence. Or would have, had not Zonde been convinced by his own death that life itself was meaningless. Amon's desire for his countrymen to conquer the heavens could only be a means to an end, or means to the same end, to instill the people with new purpose. Like Hermes before him, Amon was appalled by how those around him lived, but could never bring himself to believe that those lives were devoid of meaning. And both of them sought that meaning, that hope, in the distant stars. Damn. Such is my theory, anyway. Ultimately, it is the consequences of their actions which matter. The motives are of no moment, and yet, to reach those stars on wings of adamantite, to travel to the ends of creation and beyond, the promise of hope everlasting, that much I do understand. Damn. But enough musings for now. Why don't we see how Cockall is getting on? Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Oh, I was hoping he would like teleport him there in a cutscene. That'd be nice. Yeah, well. So we've made a full circle. Lovely. Now I gotta wonder, when's the dungeon? Or trial? I don't know what's coming up. Maybe we need to do some more quests down here. If we can get down here. Or maybe that's a dungeon. I don't know. I really don't know. And we're here. And judging by these people I've seen in the previous cutscene, there's going to be another cutscene. Unless, no wait, no, that's a previous cutscene. Or I should say that's when you first go down into the lower level of Labrynthos. Grahotia. I did thoroughly brief Cockall on refined adamantite's history. I only volunteered to go to reactor because I was finished, and there was little else to do. Hopefully that dispels any misapprehensions that I was kicked out for prattling on. Ooh, I can feel those flames ablazing from here. Glad you found someone capable, Graw, but there's not much left for you lot to do. Lest you conjure up the refined adamantite any faster. Bonds of adamantite. That gets me an ether current. Cuckold Dunkle is, as usual, waked up over the ether burner. I do trust you to deliver on your promise. I do, only... I hate waiting. I want that adamantite and I want it now. We share your impatience, I assure you. Is truly nothing else we can assist with in the meantime? I wish. This sitting about's unbearable. Pity the forum frowns on recreational explosives. Well, so long as they can't prove it wasn't... Well, so long as they can't prove it was premeditated. Get you gone, I've mistakes to make. In that case, I suppose I should go and return the key to the reactor. I'll have one more look to make sure nothing has gone wrong. Unintentionally or otherwise. I'm certain there are better uses for your time. However, I will join you in Shirlane Hamlet anon. Alright. I might want to pick up these two to unlock flying. Yeah, maybe. I'll see how long this quest takes me. I feel like there's got to be something next quest. And judging by the amount of people in cutscenes... Yep, there's bound to be something. Alright. If you wait here, your companions are bound to turn up sooner or later. Wait your companions, yes. Alright, is this voiced? Oh, this music! Don't give me this music!
All set, I take it.
And his voice, lovely.
We finished what we could. Delivered supplies, tracked down escaped animals. Trivial tasks as they may be.
That's enough, don't you think? If there was anything more important still undone, that would be a problem in itself.
The vessel is essentially ready for departure. All that remains is to load the final batch of supplies and see everyone on board. Once we've readied the ether burner, that is.
Ah, had a feeling we might find you all here.
Our consultations with the Labrynthos, too, have run their course. Pleased I am to say that our researchers' concerns have for the most part been allayed, though some insist on making adjustments to the very end. For their part, Livingway and her peers have graciously offered to stay and keep the people company, lest any lingering queries go unanswered.
All that remains is to wait for the refined adamantite.
Alphano, are you there? It's me, Cryo. Your special delivery has arrived. Round up everyone and come to the harbor at once.
Speak of the devil. Let us go at once.
Forgive the intrusion, Master Fortuner. I bring urgent news. A great commotion has broken out in Scholar's Harbor. Your presence is requested with all speed.
Now, where might this delivery be? Oh.
I'm sure it's very important, but we cannot accept these without the proper permits.
By the 12! Surely, these can't all be...
Bleeding hellfire! They're bringing them by sea and by air. All these folks in these crates.
And more on the way. Got your adamantite right here. A bigger haul than any of these sorry bastards brought, and that's no lie.
Yes, because you were charged with seeing the shipments from Gridania and Uldar here, along with your own. Give credit where credit is due.
Sounds like the sorry whinging of a sore loser. An hypocrite to boot. Ain't no way a scrawny whelp like you took a dozen steps inside a Adamant shard.
I'll have you know I went all the way to the entrance. Furthermore, 'twas my contacts that enabled us to enlist the cooperation of the Sky Pirates.
Left you outside so you wouldn't get anyone killed, did they? Well then, credit where credit's due, you did a right fine job sitting on your ass.
Take that back.
Make me.
I will not stoop to your level.
My, what a grand welcome party.
Hancock and Saraban.
We come bearing relics both sacred and elegant, as well as a few other gifts that may be of help, to be presented with best wishes from the Eastern Alliance. Our friends in Bosnia, for instance, have sent along a few artifacts for the brave allies of the Resistance. That's you. And we brought a number of items from Eureka as well, courtesy of one Ejika Sunjika. He says a little advance warning would have been appreciated, by the by.
I myself have come with a sacred relic of Racen Temple. 'Twas passing fortunate that Senri's dango craving brought us to Kugane. We arrived precisely as Hancock was making his arrangements. Upon learning of your need, we made haste back to Hell's Lid, with our dango, never fear, and consulted with the other auspices. All consented to the lending of Tenzin's legendary Phoenix Blade for this noble cause. Suzaku and Seiryu were nevertheless worried that it might be lost in transit, however, and insisted upon accompanying me to Onokoro, where I had intended to entrust it to our Confederate allies. I thought instead to give it over to Hancock when we chanced to cross paths yet again. But alas, Seiryu remained ill at ease, and ordered me see the blade into your hands personally, or die trying.
We did, of course, need quite the impressive vessel to get it all here in time. Fortunately, our majestic associates have been more than helpful. 'Tis an honor to join the Warrior of Light on another adventure, they tell me.
That is all wonderful to hear, but what of the extraordinary cost? I shudder to think of the ransom we must pay for such a bounty.
Fret not for your coin purse, young Alphino. Lord Lolorito looks ever towards the profits of the future, and thus the East Aldenar Trading Company went to some lengths to reduce the financial liability. And since the Scions funded the entire venture, not a gil need be rendered up in compensation. Everything is already yours.
We funded the venture? When?
Don't let the name fool you. This coin keeper knows a thing or two about spending. When it comes to capital investiture, a sprinkling of gil here and there will not do. You need enough savings to make waves when it really counts, which is why frugality is paramount. We also have the benefit of a generous patron. Generous being rather an understatement. She has supported us from the shadows since the very founding of the Scions. We even had coffers to fill.
Mother!
Millions.
I remain, of course, an entirely neutral party. I simply thought our family's coffers were needlessly full. We can hardly take them with us on your teeny-tiny toy boat, now can we? And 'twould be a shame to leave all that hard-earned wealth unspent. Waste not.
However did you manage so much in so short a time, though? We expected word to reach only a fraction of our allies.
Did I not tell you I have my ways?
Erenville, you were involved too.
I received a letter from Cryo after we parted ways in Labrynthos. She explained what the Scions were trying to accomplish, and why you might soon require the services of the Gleaners, spread across the world as we are. I pray you do not interpret this as a betrayal of Charlie. I accept that the Forum's aim in pushing us to our limits was to preserve what knowledge we have, and I bear you no ill will for it. Yet, in collecting that knowledge, what I came to appreciate most about our star is that there remains so much we do not know. That is why I chose to help the Scions, to combat the obliteration of those countless undiscovered wonders. I held no illusions that they would be less demanding taskmasters. Though, rest assured, if I had, I would have been sorely disappointed. To make a long story short, the whole of the guildship cooperated to ensure your call was heard far and wide.
What's this about a ship that can fly to the moon? And why didn't you mention it sooner? The one time you don't beg my aid, your problem's a bloody ship that can fly to the moon!
Sid! You brought the team!
Of course! Garland Ironworks' finest. You need only point us towards my new favorite ship. Oh, I nearly forgot. We stopped by Whirlit before coming here and picked up a package from Gaius. He's still of the mind that actions make for better penance than words, contrite or otherwise, so we offer none of the latter. What he sent is an Allegan relic Valen's used in his weapons experiments. Has a fair bit of refined adamantite in it too.
As you like us not suspect, we've also brought adamantite for Mordona's Dalamud shard. I admit to some consternation upon first receiving Kryl's message. So few Scions remain at the Rising Stones now. Far too few for such an expedition. However, the Gleaners were able to secure us reinforcements. Idleshire's treasure hunters not least among them. I know. How the gobby flock fought. Slowfix's gratitude for the safe return of his daughter has not waned, and he gathered his kin to our side with an astounding quickness. The clash between their machina and the Allegan defences was a sight to behold. I wager even you would have been impressed by the magnitude of the gobby booms.
Fascinating as all this is, I fail to see how it explains your presence here. Does radz-at-han not have more pressing concerns?
We do. Yet averting the final days would be the most expedient solution. That, and I am indebted to you. Though they chose to take their leave of Thavnair, those you saved in Galimund remain my people. My gratitude is beyond words. 'Tis appropriate that I aid you in kind. If in the doing we bring salvation to others of this star, so much the better. You will recall that I spoke of my father, Midgard Summer, and his journey across the great expanse. As he traveled betwixt the stars, his resplendent scales drank of the ether in those nigh empty surrounds, and imparted to him the strength to persevere. Thinking they might further your cause, I called out to my kin for consent. Ashdai's answer was silence, as ever. Tiamat and Chrisvelgre, however, responded favorably to the suggestion. My sire, too, stirred from his slumber long enough to speak and say, "Very well." Thus have I brought you his own worm scales. Fit them to your purpose, and seek a worthier fate for us all.
You'd be hard-pressed to find someone else so familiar with the unique properties of dragon scales. So I invited myself along.
Bugger me, this is so unbelievable. I've gone right back round to believing it again. Forget a 6% gain in efficiency. With all these goodies, we could get 7, no, 10, no, 14 bleeding percent. Think of how far we could go. What we could do with that much power. What we could blow up.
If Kokol is duly convinced, then it must be true. In which case, the Scion's end of the bargain has been fulfilled. Would you not agree?
Yes, Father?
I know not what you seek of Hydaelyn, nor for what purpose you would take command of our ship. Yet this much is certain. To do so will be to dictate the fate of this star and the lives upon it. The lives of each and every creature, in their magnitude and their fragility. Do you understand? And are you prepared?
We have seen and we have felt how much each life shapes this world. And so we are determined to abandon none. We understand what is at stake, and we are prepared to bear this burden.
Then I will bear it with you. I beg you, Share your struggles with me. As family. You grasped my fingers with such tiny hands the day you were born. I thought my heart might burst.
My heart's bursting right now. Oh my god, this is beautiful. Oh, don't let the tears fall me. Don't let the tears fall.
'Twas love and happiness beyond expression. Overwhelming. And a conviction so powerful that I trembled with something close to rage. I had heard the final days foretold. I swore to myself then and there that I would not let them steal your futures. The great exodus would succeed, must succeed. No sacrifice or sin was worse than the alternative. If anything gave me pause, 'twas mine own father. The Archon Louisois openly decried Charlian's policies, a perspective which I regarded with increasing disdain as I grew older. Yet even as part of me thought him a fool. Perhaps I also hoped that he, of all people, would devise a brilliant means to save my children. A naive hope, but stubborn enough that I could never bring myself to keep you apart. No, that was his doing, when he perished at Carteneau. As we pulled that twisted slab of Adamant from the sea, I remembered the warmth of your newborn touch. Chastened, I vowed never again to suffer any interference in my mission to protect you. No matter that you yourselves wished otherwise. Detest me, fight me tooth and nail, I would suffer it, and more. And be satisfied so long as I could force you onto the ship. I was wrong. You two have grown so much stronger and so much wiser than I dared dream. You have earned the right to walk your own path, and already begun to do so.
Good. Because there are things we care about, and people we love, and none of them is replaceable. Not a one.
It cannot have been an easy journey for you to have come so far.
We shall be glad to acquaint you with the finer details someday, once this danger has passed. All that we have seen and heard, that we have felt and learned in our travels. Ours is not a kind world, but it is beautiful. Always.
Oh no. Are you quite sure that's wise? After all, someone turns pale and flees the room when he sees so much as an envelope containing word of your adventures. Whatever will happen if he learns what you were really up to?
Millions. Though I have wronged my children most gravely, I owe you an apology as well. I assumed that it was the Scion's influence that made them so keen to charge headlong into danger. Yours, in particular. I see now that said influence instead brought them together with the many fine people gathered here today. In which case, I hope you continue to guide them.
If we've finished loitering about the harbor, might I suggest we put our plans into motion? People are beginning to look confused.
Perhaps you can spare a few words ere they resume the tedious lugging of cargo. You've no small number of friends and admirers here, after all.
Your assistance is appreciated. Now, in an orderly fashion, if you please.
Oh my god. You have everyone from your adventures, even the side quests. You have the goblins from Alexander raid, you have the sky pirates from the Void Ark Alliance raid. You have Omega and I can't even think of his bloody name. And Alpha from the Omega raid. You've got the... Are they still there? Sadly, no. You had the theatre airship from the Evilist raids. You've got what I assume is some armor or some metal, or maybe even that diamond weapon core from the Sorrow of Werlet raid. You've got everyone you met from the MSQ. You've got the other Scions, you've got Sid and Nero and everyone. That was a beautiful moment. Only thing we didn't have was Shadowbringers MSQ and the Neo raids, but that was in the first. Wait, I'm missing something. You've also got the Four Lords raid series, or the trial series from Stormblood. You've got Edgica from the Eureka part. You've got the Bosjan allies from the Bosjan Southern Front and the Bosja questline. You've got references to so many people. If you have done those quests, I can't imagine how different the scene would be if you didn't do any of those. If you, dare I say the word, story skipped. This is I'm at a loss for words. This is one of those mighty get everyone in the world to help you out scenes from any story, and it is fucking beautiful. I'm so glad I did every side quest to see every little reference in that scene. Unaided, we Scions could never have gathered such a bounty. Refined adamantite, relics sacred and ancient alike. I find myself quite overcome. Same here, Urion J, same here. The time has come to claim a prize. Are you prepared? No. No, I'm not. Lee sent a letter along with Gridania's contribution. It seems she travelled there to aid in the adamantite recovery. Yes, she did. Evidently, journeying to Gridania was quite the trial. She had to pass through that level 60 dungeon, as was getting into the Dalamud shard, as was reaching its depths. You've even got references to all of the Binding Coils of Bahamut raid from A Realm Reborn. And not to mention the Crystal Tower references that we've had throughout the MSQ. You've got every single side quest coming together in this final scene. Oh my god. Oh, I need to get myself together. I'm never going to finish this bloody episode. I suspect you will have a few kind words to say about the Alligans when next we meet. What do you mean when next we meet? If I see another crate again, it will be too soon. Yeah, about that. I cannot wait to see what our friends from the Ironworks do with the ship. Oh, I can't wait to see Sidanero's magic touch on it. I had no idea how massive a weight it was until he lifted it off my shoulders. But more importantly, his words were an affirmation, or that the path we walk is the right one. A part of me might have been satisfied so long as my family and friends survived the final days, but to save the star is what we all want most, and if those same people believe that I can help see it done, who am I to say otherwise? Come what may, I will fight for this world of ours until the very end. And not to mention the twins' mother helping Tadaru. My throat hurts from directing so many people to Labrynthos, but that only proves we got our money's worth. Oh shit, I did Dr. Kryl! I should probably say something about the cleaner. We finally managed to clear the harbour, which means the rest is in the engineer's capable hands. Meanwhile, Father has issued to us an invitation. As was agreed, he will reveal the means by which Heidelin may be contacted. We are to meet him at Aporia when we're ready. Given the vital knowledge she holds, I suggest we leave without delay. It transpires, however, that Forum's method of speaking with her is not without risks. I'm curious to hear what those might entail, but regardless, be warned. Yeah, there might be a trial. Most of those who arrived at the Adamantite had offered to stay and see to any remaining tasks that need doing. The Forum has already asked for my assistance in overseeing these processes, so you needn't worry about a thing. Thank you, Tadaru. We're off to Aporia then. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. We're still not at the bloody quest turn, and it's nearly an hour. That cutscene was about 20-25 minutes. Expect a lot of these. It's the bloody end of the story. Bye, Tadaru. Hope your managing goes well, and your overseeing. Right then, Fortunault, I'm kind of sorry I kicked you in the dick, but not really, because you were acting like a complete nut asshole. Marishna, I have already shown you the others. I've already shown the others inside. You'll want to speak with Clara Lane. She has the key to lift and can send you down after me. Okie dokie. So we're going into the center. What's in the center? You're with Master Fortunault, yes? To step inside the lift here. Descend to the lowest level. Oh god, what's in the lowest level? It goes further down. From here we proceed to the heart of Labrynthos and its most closely guarded secret, Formazine. It marks the beginning and end of our efforts, whence we delve to seek audience with the star, and whence we will embark on our journey to the heavens. Wait, what? This way, if you please. Wait, what? Wrong button. Excuse me? Hey, mapping the realm. if you want me to go into a dungeon in this quest, then I have other things to say to you. Oh, cutscene. Oh my god. Wow. That is a spaceship. I bid you welcome to Formazane. Direct your attention towards the center to behold the arc over which we have long labored. As you can see, it was designed as a medium-sized craft, the better to reduce fuel consumption. Miniaturizing magic have been applied to its interior to ensure that the thrust-to-weight ratio does not place too great a limitation on its freight capacity. The ether burner, as you know, has been removed for further modification, but we shall reattach it soon enough. I have received word that Kokol and several of your allies are working on it with an intense fervour. That looks like something from Star Fox. They are sure to see it done. 'Twas by their expertise that many a prior disaster was averted. If anything, I fear they will not afford us much time for speaking with Hydaelyn ere they finish. Point taken. Let's move on. I must warn you again, however, that even with the benefit of our device, to treat with her is not a simple feat. Al. Okay, quest turning. Lovely. I'm turning this in, and I'm going to bed. I've recorded for like 12-13 hours. I'm tired. You feel it too, don't you? The ship is impressive, but it pales in comparison to the vast primordial power beneath our feet. The what? Oh. Oh. Huh. Yeah. Yeah. 'Twould seem enchantments most advanced have been woven into the ship's very bones. Wilsfern and Blorida were doubtless called upon for their expertise in teleportation magics. Oh yeah, speaking of Estinian, we've got scales from Midgardsormr and three of the great worms. The last worm, radz-at-han, is non-responsive, but we got scales from 3 of them. 3 of the 4 that are alive. It was the Algans who first combined the mechanical and ethereal sciences into a revolutionary discipline. Given that this ship is nothing short of a technological marvel in that precise vein, Algan salvage should suit her well. I doubt this is what Erenvel meant when he said there remains much we do not know. But I still believe everything that was hidden underneath the city. But I still can't believe everything that was hidden underneath the city the whole time. If meeting Hydaelyn proves difficult even for the Forum, then perhaps I... Oh, it is an unformed idea at this phase, I'm afraid. I will duly inform you if anything comes of it. You're going to get possessed again, aren't you? Aye, we must learn of Hydaelyn's greater plan. We can only hope that she also knows the current location of Meteion. And we can do neither if we do not focus on whatever trial awaits us within. Don't say a trial! To think how many generations laboured for this end, and that we aim higher still. We must spare no preparation, and that means speaking with Hydaelyn no matter the cost. Don't say that! That's a death lag. I can well imagine the zeal with which they're working on the ether burner, and all I can say is that I'm glad we have something to do other than get in their way. Once it's ready, we'll see to it that the ship is put to good use. I have done what I can to impress upon you the gravity of what lies ahead. Are you prepared? No, but let's do it anyway. Alright, so I just need to do a couple of side quests, and I can fly in Labrynthos. 89. Her children, one and all. Fortunate is ready to lead you to Hydaelyn at last. That amount of gold, that's a dungeon or a trial. Oh god, we're on the final part here. This has to be the final part. And that is something I'm gonna do next time. Sheesh. Okie dokie, so I'm gonna end this video here. This has been DragonofEternity going through more. You know what, I'm gonna bring it closer so I can see the full bloody ship. Am I good here? Yeah, that'll do. Okay, so this has been DragonofEternity going through more Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker MSQ. In this video I helped around Labrynthos a bit more, and we have gotten everyone from the MSQ and all the side quests together to help save the world, and it is lovely. It is fucking lovely. So now we have a ship here, and we have either a dungeon or a trial to do next time. So next time, I guess we're conversing with Hydaelyn. Fun times ahead. Fun times ahead. Although for me, I'm having a 12-hour break. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So yeah, next time I talk to Hydaelyn. So with that plan now, viewers, with my rambling hopefully now finally done. Until next time.